Morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you guys. Welcome to the Full 100 today, Thursday, the 6th of August edition. And it's a beautiful day out there, guys, today in the UK. And I hope it's a beautiful day for you guys, wherever it is you're watching us from. Guys, got a packed show for you today, all about the, diabolical situation in the US as well as in Lebanon, and Trump's attempts to no one knows what he was trying to do. Really, was he trying to start a war? No one knows. However, we're gonna get to it. So guys, let's get to it. I want to start with a rant, one like you've never seen before. Seriously, Chris Cuomo, CNN presenter, last night went into one. I don't blame him because he's American and they should all be sounding like him. I'm about to show you the clip. Those of you who saw my video yesterday remember how upset I was that this guy can say it is what it is in the same interview and in the same press conference that he's telling kids to go to school when the parents don't want to send them to school, when it's not safe to send them to school yet. He's comparing his country to countries like Denmark, who are like seeing a couple of hundred. They're seeing 60,000, 77,000, and he wants the kids to go back in school. So Chris Cuomo, I don't blame him. He definitely was angry. Take a look, guys.
There is no need for testing, except to test our ability to simply wish it away.
It's going away. No, it'll go away like things go away. Absolutely. It's no question in my mind, it will go away.
Tell the families of the dead. The answer is, as he likes to say, it is what it is, this answer. Pathetic and painfully indicative of why we are stuck with all these cases. He really wants you to believe things are getting better without having to do anything to make that the reality.
Much of the country is in really good shape. We see the red spots, and we have them in red, the COVID areas. But the country's in very good shape, and we're set to rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Yeah, rock, roll, continue taking on water, and eventually sink thanks to having no one at the damn helm. I am not going to stop calling out his inaction, his lies, and his hypocrisy, because it's making us sick. And it's putting our kids behind. Take a look at the map. Nearly 5 million cases and counting. We lead the world. Hospitalizations are up in too many places. Governors are forced to band together to get rapid tests that the federal government keeps promising and not delivering. Death projections adjusted to add more than expected again and again. His only solution: lie about the reality, defy what should be done, and deny his responsibility.
If you look at children, they're able to throw it off very easily. And it's an amazing thing because some flus, they don't. They get very sick and they have problems with flus and they have problems with other things. But for whatever reason, the China virus, children handle it very well. Their immune systems are very, very strong. They're very powerful. And they seem to be able to handle it very well. And that's according to every statistic.
It is not according to every statistic. I know for a fact that he knows not to say what he's saying to you right there. And with our kids, children have died from this virus. I know he was told that. It is the best reckoning by his own task force. Why would he lie to you about it? Why would he put you in the position to expose your kid that way? How can we deal with a president who lies so much? Facebook removed one of his videos from his personal page because of what he said on state TV this morning, making these same BS claims that kids are almost immune, because it violates their harmful COVID misinformation policy. What our president is putting out about children is so violative of their decency standard that they pulled it. Just think about that.
Guys, many more of their voices should speak up the way that Chris Cuomo spoke up on that clip. It's diabolical. They're taking down the president's posts on his own personal Facebook page. The president of the world, you might as well say, because if you've got that, when you have the office of the United States presidency. You're the kind of president of the world. That's what it translates as. And the top man in the world gets his post taken down because he can't tell the truth. I knock out videos every day. I've never had my videos taken down because I behave badly, basically. Okay? You're talking about the president of the United States, talking about a pandemic that's killing his people. So now we're going to scoot over to his claim yesterday that the accident was an attack. Knowing that saying that would trigger so many other people that because they're going to think it's Israel. And Israel's his partner. Saying that gets bombs going into Israel. And then Israel retaliating. And then sending tanks back into the Palestinian territories. And then death after death after death after death. All because of one man's stupidity and one man's greed. So today yesterday the Pentagon have come out stronger. Right? To say, no, it's not that. The Palestinian authorities, which you see in my clip after this one, you can see clearly what it was. Now, he got briefed. Then why would you come out and say it was an attack? It's beyond me. It really is beyond me. But take a look at the Pentagon's response to his lie that it was an attack.
Also breaking this morning, pushback from the Pentagon following President Trump's statement that Beirut explosion was an attack. So let's go live right now to the Pentagon and CNN's Ryan Brown. So what are they saying at the Pentagon about this?
Well, Allison, officially, Pentagon officials are referring all comments about this to the White House. They obviously didn't want to comment on President Trump's statement that the U.S. military's assessment is that this was some kind of attack. However, defense officials are telling CNN anonymously that this actually there are no indications that this was an attack. In fact, all initial reporting suggested that this was some kind of accident. There's been no adjustment to U.S. military activities in the region. There's been no increases in force protection, things of that nature. The kind of things you would typically see in the wake of an attack, or if there had been any intelligence indicating an attack. Now, the explosion was massive, and of course, these are initial reports, and as they get refined, that could change. But the initial assessment from multiple defense officials, senior officials we've spoken to here, is that it was not, in fact, an attack, and much more likely to be an accident.
Ain't that shameful? I mean, how many times have we seen this? I've seen it now in his presidency 5, 6, 7 times when he says one thing separate to what his intelligence is saying. Intelligence tells him Russia interfered and cheated and helped you win, and he says no. He goes to meet Putin. Putin says, I didn't do that, I had nothing to do with it. He comes out to the press and says, Putin says he didn't do it, I believe him. Unbelievable. Guys, now take a look at the real sad situation in Beirut, in Lebanon. I brought you the news yesterday. This is a further look at the damage and the suffering that this has caused. And my heart goes out to all of the bereaved and injured. There is 137 dead and over 5,000 injured. Estimates of 3.5 upwards billion to repair it. This is a country that's really broke as well. So take a look, guys.
2 days after an explosion ripped a hole in the city's port and sent a destructive shockwave across Beirut. All new satellite images reveal the crater it left is some 124 meters in diameter. When he arrived earlier, French President Emmanuel Macron brought a promise of support, a bit of tough love. Mr. Macron warns French aid will not go into corrupt hands, and he'll ask for what he calls a new political pact from Lebanon's leaders. Well, the blast claimed at least 137 lives and left thousands of people wounded.
George Faroun has come with a friend to see what they can salvage from the remains of his parents' apartment, which looked directly onto Beirut's port. Tuesday's blast turned it into a moonscape, a panorama of utter destruction. Dried blood marks the spot where his mother was resting in bed when the explosion sent a wall slamming on top of her. She's still in hospital. This was his parents' retirement home.
This is their life. Everything they did here, look what happened.
Given the damage, they probably will never be able to move back. Many neighbors were badly injured, others killed. In addition to the dead and the wounded, many people have lost their homes. According to the governor of Beirut, more than 300,000 people in the city have been made homeless. Officials believe the blast emanated from a warehouse filled with 2,750 metric tons of ammonium nitrate, sitting there under lax security for 6 years. The government has promised a quick, transparent investigation.
Before I go on to my last video, I mean, it seems like he's trying to start a war. When you see what happened, apparently that the ammonium nitrate was seized from a Russian ship that docked. It was so dangerous, the cargo, I believe they seized it, but then they didn't protect it. They didn't do anything with it. It just sat there for 6 years, and up in flames it went. Guys, have you guys heard of Kanye and what's really going on with Kanye West? I'm really worried about this guy. When he had his first political rally to announce his presidency, he broke down and said, I nearly killed my daughter, I nearly killed my daughter, I nearly killed my daughter. Then his missus comes out and says he's got bipolar. So why are you running for president? Anyway, the update on that, guess who's helping him? Trump's party. Trump's party, you couldn't make this up. The Republicans are trying to help Kanye to make sure he gets on all these ballots in all these states, yeah? Guess why they're helping him? It's obvious. If he runs, maybe people are that, you know, especially maybe not informed enough that maybe they'll vote for him. Voting for him then splits Joe Biden's votes and gives Trump a little leg up. So they're helping Kanye make sure that he runs for president. This is jokes, you know, it's jokes. Take a look at these guys.
So there are reports this morning that Republican operatives in Wisconsin are working to get Kanye West on the ballot for president. Wisconsin is one of the key states in the presidential race. President Trump won there in 2016 by a razor-thin margin. The New York Times reports this morning that 4 known Republican activists are working to get West on ballots around the country. Joining me now is Stuart Stevens, a Republican strategist for the Romney and Bush campaign, as well as the author of the newly released book, It Was All a Lie, How the Republican Party Became Donald Trump. Stuart, it's great to have you with us this morning, and I want to talk extensively about the book. And what's interesting about the news we just reported is you're really right about this type of situation in your book. What does this represent? What do people need to know about what's happening there if these Republican operatives who presumably support Trump are working to get West on the ballot in Wisconsin?
Unbelievable, right? I mean, has anyone sat down with Kanye and said, do you know the Republicans helping you? Do you know they're helping you because they want Biden to lose and Trump can stay in power? Why are you running for president? Are you running to defeat Trump? Are you running because you got policies that you can use to get America out of this banana republic status that they're now in? If no one's asked him that, has he not asked himself? Watch this space. We'll keep you guys posted on this very interesting development indeed. My last video now, guys. The mighty Trump. I mean, this is a laughy one. The mighty Trump, the smart guy, you know, the guy who keeps always got his finger to his head like, I'm smart, you know. If you're smart, then you know there will be cheating. But if you're stupid, then there's no cheat. So listen to this guy try and pronounce a word that I've been able to say since the age of 10, because I've been into wildlife and documentaries and the Attenborough documentaries and the likes. So Yosemite National Park is a word I've been able to say since the age of 10. You have a 73-year-old man who thinks there are people. He thinks there are people. Yosemites, he calls them. Take a look.
I want to play a key moment in the history of national parks. if I can. And also, people of our faith as well. This was the president yesterday announcing grants for national parks in the country. So let's listen.
When young Americans experience the breathtaking beauty of the Grand Canyon, when their eyes widen in amazement as Old Faithful bursts into the sky, when they gaze upon Yosemite's towering sequoias.
David, I'll leave it to you. It's for you. It's for you to analyze that.
No, I don't have words. I mean, it's Yosemites everywhere enjoy the national park.
That's how we greet each other. I mean, someone let him in our secret greeting.
Well, on that note, ending on the note of the genius himself, let me remind you guys to please subscribe when you watch. I very hardly say it. I tend to put it up rather than say it. If you like what we're doing, show your support by subscribing, guys. And also remember the 30th of August 2020, our Million People March. It's on, it's happening. Bring the family out, bring granddad out, bring grandmother out, set up a picnic at Hyde Park and listen to some beautiful speeches. Guys, we've come to the end of today's show. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was informative. I'll see you guys on the last show of the week, and take care. Have a fantastic Thursday. Bye bye now.